Well, it is only a little break, but has it come, maybe not matches at the right time, but it's nice a couple of months in just to rest a few legs?
Yeah, rest a few, but we picked up a few injuries. Gosling and Bowden are very doubtful for Saturday. Gosling's come back with an ankle injury, and Bowden hasn't trained since the Wickham game.
It's frustration when you send somebody on international duty. I guess it's the kind of thing that Premier League managers
just happens, doesn't it? But flexible within our shape. We can change a shape if we want to change a shape. So unfortunate, both players were playing really well, but serious doubts for Saturday.
Yeah, and I guess what happened with the game against Wickham, the fact you had to make changes there because of the players being away on international duty, shows that you can adapt to whatever.
Yeah, adapt to it. Just get on with it. It's part and parcel of the game, isn't it? So injuries come along. It's how you deal with that. We haven't got a big squad, but it's unfortunate. But we'll see.
If that's the downside of a bit of international football, I guess Tom Lockie's come back with a real spring in his step from his work.
Yeah, outstanding. He epitomises everything I like about the football club, about how I want my players. He's the last to leave training all the time, always wanting to do extra. And players like Tom Lockie are few and far between, to be honest with you. And I'd like to build my football club around him. He's that sort of style of player. He's no give in training, and he's certainly no giving in matches. So really pleased that he's picked up his first cap.
And Ellis obviously playing as well. I'm intrigued. I mean, how much sort of do you get talked
Good
to
young
by the
lads,
coaches?
great young lads. To be fair, Ellis has learned. He's come on massively the last 12 months. He's learning, he's listening, he's improving his game. But they're both young lads. I think people forget how young they are because Tom's been around the first team now for 2-3 years. Ellis has as well, but they're still very young. Still got a lot to learn, but they have an eagerness to want to do that. So the future's bright with those two.
Yeah. And do you have much contact with the Welsh under-21 guys?
Yeah, I know Paul Bowden, Billy Bowden's dad quite well. He keeps me in the loop how the lads are doing. So I have 1 or 2 chats with him. So pleasing that they both did well.
Good stuff. Back to the league now and League Two, obviously after the JPT success. At what point of the season do you start actually paying attention to where you are on the table?
I think you're lying if you don't say you don't look at the table. A few managers kid themselves, don't they? The table's in every other paper, and do well to avoid it, wouldn't you? So you just keep trying to improve. You keep your focus. We want to try and head towards that top 7. It's easier said than done. Like I've said before, we're nowhere near, for me, what clubs are having a right good go at it. But we could surprise 1 or 2. If we can get a little bit more consistency in our performances when we're not quite at our best and pick up more points, because I'd have to say the 5 games we've won we thoroughly deserve to win. The games we've lost, we haven't done enough to probably win the games, but there haven't been a lot in the games. So if we can start getting points out of games where we don't particularly play that well, that'll give us a boost for when we do play well as well.
And without making excuses for you, it would seem that you've certainly played a lot of the top teams.
Yeah, I know people keep saying that, but for me the league's very, very competitive. You've only got to see how quite tight the point situation is. So is there really a top v bottom divide? On paper we played some of the big guns, the ones that are having a right good go at it, but they're all difficult games, and it's that consistency in the performance that's key.
So where would you put Mansfield in there? In 4th in the table, perhaps even a bit higher than they might have thought?
Obviously had a good start, but they're another team we want to go and beat. Our away form's been good. Their own form, they've been good at home as well. So it should set up to be a good game. They've scored a lot of goals just recently. We've scored good goals recently, so we'll take a 1-0. So, but listen, we'll see how it goes.
Obviously, the last match against Mansfield's one nobody's going to forget, but I don't sense there's any sort of history there.
I know what you're saying with regards. Obviously, they're the team that beat us when we went down to the conference. So, obviously a very, very disappointing day for the football club. But we've come a long way in the last 12, 13 months. You look at us now, what we game in hand, 5 points off the playoffs in League Two. So we're moving in the right direction. We've put in some fantastic performances already in the first quarter of the season. We're looking to do more consistently in the second quarter.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever say something like that can be a good for a club, but do you think it sort of refocused minds and it's allowed you to make some changes that you might not have done, say, if you just avoided relegation?
No, I certainly won't say relegation was a good thing, that's for sure, because I still made the changes to make sure we try and be successful in League Two. So, but the way we bounced back, obviously in the first year was great, but that's long gone now. Our target, our aim for this football club, while our manager, is to try and get in the top 7. It's easier said than done. I ain't got resources that a lot of other managers have had at the football club, because we're fighting things on two fronts. But the board's doing a great job to support me and back me, and we'll keep going as a football club, and it'll always be our aim to try and get out of the division.